where we put misconduct on display, explore police and legal content, protect rights, and demand accountability. This episode is brought to us by Autistic Audits. Be sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. I end this episode. Auditor Autistic Audits heads to the BBC building to peacefully film from a public space, but things spiral fast. Two completely unhinged officers arrive, rattling off nonsense about a morning briefing and claiming he matches a description of a wanted person. With zero proper investigation or lawful grounds, they demand his details, and when he stands his ground, they arrest him. Thankfully, Autistic Audits teams up with Hank's solicitors, takes the matter to court, and wins the lawsuit against these super bad officers.
How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
What you up to?
Can I ask you why you're engaged in me?
Stop there a minute.
Why?
I'm just trying to identify who you are because you've got your face covered and you've... what's your name, please, sir?
I don't have to give you my name.
Okay, well, at this moment in time, we believe that you might well be wanted. Okay. Well, we'll cross that bridge in a minute once we've confirmed it. So that's why we need to identify who you are. It's all right, we'll do it another way. Just bear with us a second.
You start with your first name, please, sir.
Don't believe I have to provide your name.
Okay. Well, I believe that you wanted, right? Okay. Just by your description alone, right? So I believe that you're wanted off a briefing that I've received today, right? So we can do it one or two ways.
Wanted for what?
Well, wanted for an offence.
What offence?
Well, wanted for an offence of harassment, actually. So I need to check you out in order to see, A, if it is you, or B, if it isn't you, right? And if it isn't you, I'll bid you good day and off you go.
From the very first exchange, the officer's approach is deeply flawed, claiming the auditor matches a description of a wanted person based on a generic morning briefing. He immediately pushes for personal details without offering a shred of concrete justification. No description, no mention of a specific offense, just an assumption and pressure. This isn't policing based on facts. It's fishing with authority. When the auditor rightly refuses to give his name, the officer doubles down, saying, "If it's not you, I'll let you go." That alone exposes everything wrong with this mindset. He's treating identity like a test you have to pass to earn your right to walk away. But in the UK, your rights aren't conditional on satisfying a hunch. Police need actual articulable grounds, not vague briefings or gut feelings.
So if we start with your first name, or are we going to have to get a fingerprint scanner down here and find out who you are, or take you down to custody to try and identify you because you refuse to give me details?
I haven't committed an offence.
Okay, so if you haven't committed any offences, can I start with your first name, please, sir?
I don't need to give you my first name.
Okay, well, I believe you to be Christopher Green, and I'm detaining you currently.
I am not Christopher Green.
Right, okay,
that's fine,
that's fine, but you're currently being detained up until the point I can establish who you are. You're refusing to give me some details, so I need to establish who you are.
Please ask you to identify yourself?
Yeah, I'm PC 17768 Neil Williams.
And you, please?
Sergeant 15563.
Thank you.
Right,
which station?
Can we make it nice and easy for us and start giving just the first name, please?
Can I ask you which station you're from?
Yeah, I work at Withenshaw Police Station, work part of the ex-department and part of the transport unit for Great Manchester Police.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yep.
So we're going to start with your name then, please. And if there's nothing wrong, then we'll send you on your way.
When the officer suddenly declares, "I believe you to be Christopher Green," despite the auditor calmly asserting he's not, it exposes the real issue. This isn't about identifying a wanted person. It's about controlling a situation where the officer feels challenged. The auditor had given no cause for concern, no evasiveness, no threatening behavior, just a refusal to surrender his name without lawful grounds. That's a right, not a red flag. Even more alarming is the officer publicly stating the full name of the person supposedly being sought. Under data protection law, specifically the UK GDPR and Data Protection Act 2018, law enforcement must treat personal data with care. Naming someone as a wanted suspect without confirmation is a serious breach, potentially defamatory and completely unnecessary for establishing lawful grounds. It turns out the name Christopher Green has no connection to the auditor. The officer has risked damaging two people's reputations, the auditors and the actual individual named, assuming they even exist.
It's not Christopher. Green.
Okay.
100 Alpha.
And what is your name, please? And have you got any anything to identify yourself?
I don't believe I have to answer these questions.
Right. You don't believe that you have to? Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, I believe you to be wanted. Right. So make it easy for us. Give us your details, identify yourself, show me some identification.
I don't believe I have to identify myself.
Well, you do.
We could arrest you, take you to custody and put you on a live scan machine. There's a necessity, if you're not giving your name and address, for us to verify who you are if we believe you to be wanted from the information we've got. So you can
I don't have to do that. You've not provided me with any grounds for an arrest.
Right, take your hands out your pocket so I can see them. I need to identify you. I'm trying to make it easy for you here, sir. So what I want,
I'm not in any threat to you.
No, not at all.
No, I'm not.
You had your hands in your pockets, and I don't know who you are.
Despite detaining someone in public, he still hasn't provided any concrete grounds. No specific offense, no real evidence. Just a vague claim that the auditor matches a description. But when the auditor rightfully presses for the legal basis behind the detention, the officer abruptly shifts tactics, fixate on the fact that the auditor has his hands in his pockets. It's a blatant deflection. The officer knows he's on shaky ground, so instead of addressing the legal question, "What offense do you suspect me of?" he invents a new problem. Posture. It's as if being calm with your hands in your coat is now cause for detention. Worse still, he openly admits again, "I don't know who you are." That's the real issue. He's detaining someone not because they're committing a crime, but because he doesn't recognize them.
Up until the point that you identify yourself, make it easy for us, and if it isn't you, and I can establish who you are, and I can clearly identify you, then I'll send you on your way. Right, okay. But by you being obstructive at the moment...
I'm not being obstructive.
Well, you are, because you're refusing to provide some details.
No, because I don't believe lawfully that I have to give you those details because I haven't committed any offence of harassment. I'm sorry.
Right, okay. Well, I believe you to be wanted, so I want you to, I need you to identify yourself in order for me to make those inquiries. And once I make those inquiries and find out that you are either wanted or you're free to go, I will then send you on your way. Okay? Oh, no, excuse me. I'm speaking.
You've asked me whether I'm Christopher Green, and I've said I'm not Christopher Green.
Right, and all I'll say to you is, right, identify yourself, because
stop giving me orders.
I'm the police here.
Speak to me respectfully.
I have done. I've tried.
Speak to me respectfully.
What I'll say to you is, you're not going anywhere up until the point that I can clearly identify you. Okay.
Right, but please continue.
There you go.
To speak to me respectfully. Okay.
So what's your name, please?
To speak to you always respectfully.
Your name, please.
The auditor has been calm, clear, and entirely within his right, simply asserting that he hasn't committed a crime and doesn't have to provide ID without lawful grounds. But instead of responding professionally, the officer completely loses composure, shouting, No, I'm the police here," as if yelling his title makes his actions lawful. That outburst isn't just unprofessional. It's revealing. It shows the officer isn't in control of the situation or the law. He's rattled. And when authority figures get rattled without legal justification, they resort to aggression to intimidate. That loud, aggressive posture is also a tactic. He's not trying to resolve anything lawfully. He's trying to scare someone into submission.
I'm not giving you my name.
Right, have you got any ID on you?
I'm not. I don't have to do this.
The problem is, we suspect you of an offence.
Sorry, mate, why do you believe that you don't have to do this?
Because I don't believe I've committed a criminal offence.
Right, okay. Well, then make it easy for me, sir, right?
I don't have to make anything easy for you.
Yeah, you do, unfortunately.
No, I don't.
Why are you being so obstructive? If you're not committed any offence, we can check your details. Then
I don't have to discuss anything with you.
Why are you trying to avoid it?
I'm not trying to avoid anything.
Because it's going to be a long process for you if we have to take you to custody and put you on one of them live scan machines to find out who you are.
Well,
so it'll be a lot straightforward if you just give us your details. We can check if you want or not. If you're not, absolutely fine, which is what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm not Christopher Green, and I'm saying I've not committed offensive harassment.
Who are you then?
I've just told you I don't believe that I have to give you that information.
The auditor isn't being obstructive. He's calmly asserting his right not to provide personal details without clear lawful grounds. That's not avoidance. It's a citizen exercising the exact rights the police are sworn to uphold. Yet instead of respecting that, the officer resorts to intimidation, warning that if the auditor doesn't comply, they'll drag him through a long and unnecessary custody process. This isn't about justice. It's about punishment for non-compliance. The live scam machine's comment reveals the real motive, pressure and inconvenience as a substitute for lawful grounds. When officers fall to threats because a member of the public knows their rights, it exposes a serious failure in training and mindset. Good policing doesn't rely on coercion. It relies on accountability. And in this moment, the officer couldn't have proven the auditor's point any better.
And if I do, then I can give it to your desk sergeant, or I can give it to a judge.
Please, so I can see exactly who you are.
No.
Right, I'm going to let go of your arm now, yeah? Okay. What I don't want you to do is I don't want you to be putting your hands in your pockets.
Promise
right?
you I won't do that.
Okay, because I need to be satisfied that you've not got something that can harm me or anyone else.
I promise you there's nothing in my pockets that could harm you.
It is, isn't it? Boss.
Do you want to go and have a look at that picture? I'll stay here.
So guys, it looks like I'm going to be arrested here. We'll just turn this off.
Right, you're under arrest on suspicion of harassment.
According to the evidence, unlawfully arrested. I've now passed the case on to HNK, and they are currently considering all of the information before they either accept or reject the case, and I'll let you know what happens there, guys.
This arrest marked the worst failure, yet in a string of poor decisions. After refusing to give clear, lawful grounds and continuously pressuring the auditor for personal details, the officer resorted to arrest. Despite no crime being committed and no legitimate suspicion, IT was a textbook abuse of power, but justice prevailed. The auditor later confirmed that HNK solicitors took on the case, and just weeks ago, he publicly responded that he won his claim. That win isn't just personal. It's a powerful reminder that unlawful policing carries consequences. What unfolded in this episode was a disturbing example of policing gone completely off the rails. Auditor Autistic Audit was calmly filming outside the BBC building, entirely within his rights, when two officers arrived and immediately escalated the situation, citing a vague morning briefing and claiming he matched the description. The lead officer wasted no time in demanding the auditor's name. But when the auditor rightly refused, standing on solid legal ground, things quickly spiral from bad to worse. Instead of providing reasonable suspicion or factual grounds, the officer simply declared that he believed the auditor was a man named Christopher Green. He even went so far as to say that full name allowed a massive violation of privacy, especially since there was zero confirmation of identity. That alone should raise serious concerns about data protection breaches and police procedure. And when the auditor calmly pushed back, repeatedly asking what ground they had, the officers didn't clarify. They doubled down. The lead officer's loud, aggressive outburst of, No, I'm the police here," was a chilling moment. It wasn't about public safety or legal process. It was about control, plain and simple. Adding insult to injury, the second officer tried to frame the auditor's lawful resistance as obstructive, warning him that if they had to take him into custody, the process would be long and uncomfortable. This was nothing more than a scare tactic, an attempt to bully someone into giving up their rights under pressure. It's a familiar pattern. When officers don't get the instant compliance they want, they start threatening consequences to break the will of the person standing up for themselves. Eventually, they arrested him. No solid ID match, no evidence of wrongdoing, just poor assumption and abuse of authority. But this story didn't end on the pavement. It ended in court.